So to begin tonight's practice, you can come into a seated pose. Can you guys see me okay? Yeah, you guys can see me. And if you're comfortable, you're going to bring your hands to your face. So maybe let's bring our rubber palms together. And then just start bringing your hands to the outside of the jawline, near the ears. So if you bring your fingertips there, you open your mouth, you can feel your jaw move. And some of us have this condition called TMJD where it may click. And a lot of times it has to do with some of the pressure that we put in the jaw. So if you want, you can do some circles, kind of back and forth and reverse your circles. And then I know I'm going to look silly and I'm okay with this. So when I pull my hands down, my fingers down, I'm going to open my jaw. And it's kind of tender on me. So it might be tender on you. And I'm just going to do a couple of sweeps this time. So if it's tender, you probably do a lot of this. And if you can see the muscles that are activated, okay. It's just an awareness, nothing right, nothing wrong. And then let's start with the jaw open. Fingertips are still in the same spot. But as you move your fingers down, close the jaw slowly. So now you're working through some contracted muscle tissue. And I encourage you to look in the mirror sometime when you do this. Awesome. And then just kind of give some circles and some movement, some love to this area. And then you can open the jaw and move it back and forth. Kind of move it around. Yeah, this is probably one of the weirdest classes I've ever taught. I don't get to make these faces often. So you just kind of move and see the difference even between the left and the right. That can be kind of telling. And then eventually I'll sit down. So most of us, we want to try to have our ears in line with our shoulders, but because we live in a forward flex world, a lot of us are like this, or a lot of us jut our chin forward and then look down. So try to bring the chin back a little bit. Ears are in line with the shoulders, just like this. Okay. Sorry, I moved up a little bit. And then draw a line with the nose and look up towards the ceiling. And then down. So you have some nice range of motion in the back of the neck, okay? So this is why I want you to realize it's important to keep the ears in line with the shoulders. And at any point you can stop. Like I want you to not hurt yourself here. So the ears are in line with the shoulders. If you jut your chin forward like that, it's contracting right here. And then without hurting yourself, if you can, see if you can look up. You can't get as far and it tends to be tense. And then even forward looking down, it's just, you get too much tension in the back of the head right in here. So, and here I need to like put this little disclaimer. You're bringing your vertebrae out of alignment. So, I mean, we didn't do it that dramatically, but essentially think of it that way. That's one of the reasons why you may always hear me say ears in line with the shoulder. Okay, cool. I think that gives you a little lay of the land with me up close. And then I'm going to take a seat. Cool. All right. So we did this a little backwards. I just wanted to give you a lay of the land while I was up close. But find yourself in a nice comfortable position. Maybe suss around a little bit. Move your head from side to side. Maybe move your shoulders around. And And then let's bring ourselves into our practice totally. So take a nice full inhale in through the nose. Slow exhale out. Full inhale in. This time on your exhale, kind of sigh out through the mouth, like allow the jaw to fall. All right, nice full inhale in. And then exhale the same way. And then just begin to allow your breath to fall into a natural rhythm, noticing if you're tensing anywhere in the jaw and in the chin area, in the space behind the ears. And if you need little reminders, just bringing the ears back in line with the shoulders, having a nice straight spine. And if you notice that your shoulders round forward and is dragging your chin with you, maybe just bringing the palms open helps externally rotate the shoulders, helping you come back just a little bit, okay? So let's take a few cycles of breath, seeing if we can maintain that openness and that release of tension. And then practicing keeping the ears in line with the shoulders. Maybe the chin needs to come up a little bit. Bring the right ear and right shoulder together, best as can be. And you'll notice a nice stretch from the back of the skull to the shoulder. Okay. So when you move your left hand in front of your hip, it changes the stretch to the back. And when you move your hand to the back of the hip, it changes the stretch to the front. So you can gauge what you need and where you're at. And I'll give you a little hint. If you feel tension, say if you feel tension in the front, you probably round your shoulders back a lot. Or round your shoulders in a lot, okay? So that's just a little awareness for you. And you can play around, finding what feels good. Give yourself 3 healthy, long inhales and exhales here. Keep the jaw relaxed. One more breath. And then if your left hand isn't directly in line with the left hip, go ahead, bring it there and then bring it in. Roll your chin along the chest and then pause halfway. See if you can root down through your sit bones and draw a straight line up the spine and then drop chin to chest. You may have to give yourself multiple chins here, and that's fun. Remember as a kid when you try to give yourself multiple chins, it's kind of the same idea. And then go ahead and bring the head back up to neutral. And I want you to pause and settle and just feel what you feel between left and right. Great. All right, so then slowly start dropping the the left ear and left shoulder together. Cool. And then bring the right hand to the outside of the right hip. Same thing here. So walk your fingertips gently away, best as can be, to find what you need. And this is where you get to play around a little bit. So I encourage you to move your right hand in front of your right hip. Take a few breaths. And then move your right hand to the back of your right hip and take a few breaths. And feel what's going on. Because you have this opportunity to work with the muscles that connect from the base of the skull to the shoulders. And this is a beautiful assessment here to see if anything's tight, it's probably pulling more than what you think. And then just find a spot that feels good. Pause, take 3 good long breaths here, just appreciating this work you're doing right now. Two more breaths. Last breath. And then you'll gently bring the right hand in line with the right hip. Bring the right hand close into the torso. And then once again, roll the chin along the chest. And bring the chin in line with the chest or in the middle of the chest. Best as can be. Root down through the sit bones. Inhale, draw a line straight up through the spine. Exhale, slowly release. Great. Keep your straight spine. Inhale, draw a line with the nose looking up towards the ceiling. And try to look up as far up as you can. Because you kept your straight spine and you didn't jut your chin forward. Hopefully you feel like you have some nice movement to look up, opening up the front of the throat. And while you're here, if you can, open your mouth. And close. Great. And then bring the nose back in line in center. Cool. Take a nice full inhale in. Exhale. Let's get a little more movement going. Okay, so you're going to use your nose to draw circles, okay? And what I want you to do here, and it'll be easy to do this, so you're going to have to give yourself little checks. You want to keep the shoulders in line with the hips, ears in line with the shoulders, and then as you're making your circles, because we're more forward flex, try to make sure you're not rounding forward. You're going to hear me give a lot of cues, like keep the ears in line with the shoulders as you make your circles. So just begin starting one direction. And you may notice that you're not getting smooth, full rotations, and that's okay, because you're just bringing awareness here, okay? You're just noticing maybe where you need a little love, or maybe you're getting some nice full rotations, and you gotta cheer yourself on. Whoop. And then reverse direction. The chin and jaw is a common area to hold a lot of tension. So if you're noticing this is smooth sailing, it means you just don't hold your tension there. You might hold it somewhere else, so yay. One of the reasons too to bring awareness to this area is some of us, and I have a big neon sign pointing to me, growing the teeth. All right, bring yourself into neutral. Awesome. Coming up nice and tall. Inhale, bring the arms up high to the sky. This time arms are in line with the ears. And then your palms are facing forward here. And your job is not to allow the head to lean forward. So try to keep everything in line, straight as can be. And then rotate your pinky thing. And then palms turn out. So we're just doing different rotation in the shoulders. So, and I just did this slightly. So when I turn my palms out, because I have shortened tissue here, when I started leaning forward a little bit, okay? So like that's where that awareness comes in. When you start adding that extra rotation, Try not to lean forward. Try to catch yourself here. Great. And then bring the palms directly facing each other again. Reach the arms up high to the sky. Full inhale. And then keeping the sit bones rooted down, fold forward as you exhale. And then once the hands touch the ground, fingertips, maybe it's palms totally, try to drop the ears in line with the arms, wherever that is. And then once you get to this spot, try to relax your jaw. And for some of us, this is hard and difficult, so give your jaw a couple of movements from left and right. Try to keep the chin pulled back. One more cycle of breath, full inhale. Complete exhale. Keep the tension in the neck easy. And I want you to slowly walk your fingertips up. So now you're up to a nice seated pose. Cool. All right, come on to hands and knees. So hands are underneath the shoulders, spreading palms nice and wide. Knees are underneath the hips. Let's not forget our feet. So, maybe pad your feet out. Have the tops of the feet touch the mat. Rock forward and backwards a little bit. Feel your shins and your knees touch. Hands are underneath the shoulders. Press the palms totally in. Okay, from here, crown of the head to the tailbone, straight spine. Keep the jaw easy and loose. Great. Drop your belly, look on up for your cow pose. Maybe you tuck under toes, plant the toes, push out through the heels. Try to keep the shoulders from creeping up to the ears. And then as you exhale, use your nose to draw a line to the mat, bringing the chin into the chest. Tops of the feet are touching the mat into your cat pose. So push the mat away from you. And then inhale, find your cow. Exhale, find your cat. And I'm not going to give you a laundry list of all the body parts you need to be paying attention to here. What I want you to do is just to be mindful of what you're feeling in the back of the neck. When you look up, are you being certain that the ears are in line with the shoulders so when you look up you can get a nice full extension? Or are you clenching the jaw as you're looking up and then you're not getting that beautiful extension? Let's do just 2 more rounds. And then when you complete your round, come into a child's pose. Now this child's pose is always a beautiful reminder that you can come to this pose anytime, even if I don't cue it. All right, so while you're here, I really want you to keep the shoulders drawing down and away from the ears so you can have some space. Try to keep your forehead easy. Maybe it's contacting the mat. And then with one hand, I want you to feel the back of your neck here, okay? If you feel any wrinkles, you're not giving yourself space. Maybe you want to, come forward a little bit and drop the head, or maybe you need to come back. Rock your forehead from side to side. Place both palms back onto the mat. Keep the jaw easy. Great. And then I want you to come forward into your tabletop pose. And then tuck under toes and lift the knees. Come into your first plank. So hands are underneath shoulders, toes are planted, maybe you rock forward and backwards. Okay, plank pose. So if you want to, you can always come down onto the forearms. We're not going to be here long, but this isn't always the most fun pose. So Be mindful that you're not clenching the jaw, that you're not jutting the chin forward, and that you're staying just kind of easy for 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. And then as you exhale, drop the knees, the chin, and then the chest. So now you're on the mat. Elbows are underneath the shoulders, forearms are pressed into the mat, palms are pressed into the mat. Lift the chin, lift the chest. So as you're lifting the chin, I don't want you to jut the chin up and out. Just imagine that you're drawing a line with the nose, coming on up. And once you're here, keep the shoulders drawn down and away from the ears. Allow this to be more of a heart opener than a throat opener. Great. 1 more breath. And as you exhale, lower down slowly. Push on back to downward dog. So it's the first downward dog of the practice. You'll have 5 breaths here. Feel free to move around. But maybe you nod the head no. Or if you nod the head yes, you just kind of come on up. Lead with the nose. I think sometimes we can lead with the chin. Shake the head. Cool, let's find stillness for the last 2 breaths here. Maybe take a full inhale and then sigh it out loudly as you exhale. 1 more breath. Take a full inhale. Walk the feet to the back of the hands as you exhale, forward fold. Beautiful. Find your version of a halfway lift today. Okay, so while you're here, reach the crown of the head forward, tailbone is back. Exhale, fold forward. Cool. Inhale, arms come up high to the sky, full inhale. Exhale, palms come down to the side and forward. Cool. So that's a nice fun reminder that we just need to keep our shoulders back. And once again, this is because we live in a forward flex world. A lot of us just tend to roll forward. And little side note here, we guard. So it's a protective mechanism. So you're safe right now with me. So palms are forward, looking straight ahead. Ears are in line with the shoulders. Cool. I'm going to face you to do this. Reach your arms up high to the sky. Cactus your arms. So you have a nice goalpost. Try to keep the elbows in line with the shoulders. Mine are back just a little bit. Spread your fingers nice and wide. And then draw a line with the nose. Look up towards the sky. Great. And then as you exhale, come back forward. Reach both arms up high. Take a hold of the right wrist with the left hand. Reach the arm up and over to the left side. Okay, so you just came out. We just changed over to a little lateral flexion. Be careful that the chin isn't jutting forward. Bring the chin back a little bit. Drop both shoulders so you can give ease to the back of the neck. Great. Inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, switch sides. So when you were playing around with bringing the fingers in front of the hip and behind the hip and seated, you saw how the connection with the shoulder affects the neck and the lower skull. I get so excited to tell you all the things. I tell you too much. Or it comes out all at once. All right, inhale, bring up arms high to the sky. And then exhale once again, cactus your arms. See if you can keep that same alignment. If not, just readjust. Ears are in line with the shoulders. Draw a line with the nose. Look on up. Great. Exhale. This time, fold forward. Find your version of a halfway lift. What does that look like today? Great. And then set your hands down. Step your right foot back. High runner's lunge. Okay. We're going to bring the shoulders down and away from the ears. We're going to look forward, but we're not jutting the chin forward. Okay, so if we have to look back down, maybe shake the head, and then line with the nose. Look forward. Root down through the right toes, maybe push out through the right heel. Left foot is planted. Great. Set your right heel down. Set yourself up for a warrior one, okay? Get your foundation set first. And then when your inhale happens, draw yourself up. Arms come parallel to the ears. Okay, be careful that you're not leaning too far forward. Great. Try to lead the right hip forward, the left hip back. And then bring your arms behind you, interlace your fingers, make a fist, and look on down. Okay, so we're bringing the shoulders back a little bit. Try to keep the crown of the head reaching up towards the sky. Okay, make sure that you're not jutting the nose forward too much. And then as you exhale, stay with me, I know you're feeling it in your left quad. Slowly start folding forward halfway. And then at some point, the crown of the head is going to reach forward. Allow the shoulder blades to come back. And then release the arms down. So now you're framing your left foot. Spin the right heel back up. High runner's lunge. And then step your right foot forward. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Fold forward. This time step your left foot back. High runner's lunge. Allow the head to drop, maybe shake the head. And then use your nose to draw a line to look on up. So that way you're not leading with the chin. Relax the jaw. Set the left heel down, root down. And then when you're ready, arms come up high to the sky, fingertips reach. All right. Set yourself up, get your hips in line, root down to your feet, relax the shoulders. Give yourself some space to work and release. Great, bring your arms behind you, interlace your fingers, change the cross of your thumb so it'll feel weird. All right, bring the fist back. We're not looking up quite yet. Maybe move the jaw around a bit. All right, you'll start leaning forward halfway. Don't lead with the chin. Try to keep your spine nice and straight. Great. Exhale, slowly start leaning forward. And we'll pause halfway. So it's not a true lightning. It's not a true humble. We're just kind of assessing where we're at. One more breath. Stay with me. You're good. Great. Exhale, frame your right foot, spin your left heel up, high runner's lunge. Step left foot forward, forward fold. Halfway lift. Fold forward. This time step your right foot back. Set yourself up for warrior one. And then when you're ready, reach your arms up high to the sky. All right, give yourself little adjustments here. Maybe move the jaw. Great. Open up to your warrior two. So make your nice, beautiful T. Look out over your left fingertips. Sometimes you can look out over like a finger, or sometimes it's fun to put your thumb up and you can look out over your thumb. Yogi's choice. All right, so you want to make sure that the arms are in line with the shoulders. Stay with me. Okay. Use your nose to draw a line, then to look over your back hand. Keep the shoulders down. All right, so now you're looking at your right hand. Flip your palms up. So that's going to change your shoulders just a little bit. Your job is to try to keep your nose solid. And then draw a line with the nose looking back over your left fingertips. Palms are still up. Except my front. Great. This time, bring the nose to neutral. Bring your hands onto your hips. Turn both feet to the corners of your mat. Look on up. And then as you exhale, slowly start folding forward. So come halfway. Relax the jaw. You might have to bring the chin back a little bit. And then slowly fold all the way down. Whatever that looks like. So some of us can place our head on the ground. Others of us are pretty cool with our hands onto the mat. Others, you know, we just want to touch the legs or we feel good with hands on hips. There's no right or wrong, but while you're here, don't let the shoulders creep up to the ears. Give yourself some space. Because when you start shortening, everything starts kind of dumping in. Stay with me. All right, inhale, come on up. Okay, and then as you exhale, rotate your right toes, come into warrior pose, looking to the back side of the mat. So keeping the arms in line with the shoulders so you don't allow anything to fall. You're picking a finger or a thumb to look out over. Okay, use your nose, draw a line. Look over your left fingers. Okay, try to keep your nose the same. Flip your palms up. All right, here we go. Draw a line with the nose looking out over the right shoulders. And try to be mindful that you're not tensing along the way. Cool. All right. I lost the bend in my knee. Okay, slowly come into center. Hands on hips. Turn your heels in. So I'm going to shorten my stance because I'll bring you into a goddess pose. Because this is fun. Bring your arms out to a T. Give yourself the cactus arms. And maybe you sway from side to side. Okay, and while you're here, be mindful that you don't slowly start swaying too far forward or too far back. But I threw me off my balance. So give yourself that nice straight spine. You're feeling it in your quads. Stay with me. You're doing great. And then reach your arms up high. Give yourself a mini back bend. Arms stay parallel to the ears. And then exhale, fold forward. Slowly walk your hands to frame your left foot. So now you're in a high runner's lunge. The right heel will spin up. Nod your head here. Step your left foot back to meet your right, plank pose. Maybe move the lower jaw from side to side. And then lower down slowly. Use your nose to draw yourself up, finding your back bend. And then exhale, lower down, push back, downward dog. Great, you have 3 more breaths here. So maybe you shake your head no, nod your head yes. Move the lower jaw around. 2 more breaths. And then from here, step your right foot forward. Set yourself up for your warrior one. Set your left heel down. Reach your arms up high to the sky for your warrior one. And then as you exhale, frame your right foot. Left foot meets right, forward fold. Halfway lift. Fold forward. And then reach your arms up high to the sky, full inhale. And then arms come down to the side. Great. Bring your hands into prayer. Walk your feet about hips distance apart. Maybe turn the toes out a little bit. And slowly start coming down into your yogi squat. So whatever that looks like, and once you get there, be mindful that you're not leaning too far forward. Spine is nice and straight. Take a nice inhale. Exhale. Bring yourself totally down onto the ground. Okay. Feet flat, knees up. I'm going to have you do boat pose or some form of core work. So when you're in this pose, you're a little off kilter. And what we may do is we may kind of grit our teeth. So don't. And I'm going to give you cues to remind yourself not to do that. So hug the knees into the chest, sit up nice and tall. Maybe move the head from side to side. Move the jaw. So if you tense up, you know. Okay, then take a hold of the back of the thighs. Kind of find that sweet spot in the low back that you're going to balance on. And you're going to hang on to the back of the thighs, but you're not gripping onto them for dear life. And then just set your toes onto the mat. And then when you're ready, slowly start lifting the shins so the heels are up. Okay, let's stay here. Let's not move too quickly. What I want you to do is to make sure that the ears are in line with the shoulders so the chin's not jutting forward. Okay? And then maybe you move the jaw around a bit. And then bring the arms in line with the shins. So you're rooting down to the sit bones. Your spine is back a little bit, but you're reaching up, bringing the heart forward. And then as you exhale, bring yourself up nicely, setting the feet down, hug the shins into the chest and sit up nice and tall. One more breath. Great. We'll do this one more time. So take a hold of the back of the thighs. Find that sweet spot onto the low back. Come up onto the toes, and then when you're ready, come on up into your version of a boat pose. Go slowly, so give yourself those checks. Am I rounding the shoulders forward? If you're dumping, you're going to feel this in your low back. I want you to come out too. And then bring the arms maybe parallel to the shins. Maybe the arms come up high to the sky. And then wherever you're at, I want you to pause. Maybe move the head around just a little bit. Move the jaw. Take another breath. Then exhale, slowly release. Hug the knees into the chest. Great. Cool. All right. From here, come into an easy pose. And for this easy pose, just pick one foot to have closer to your torso right now, followed by the other. Place the hands on the knees, come up nice and tall. Bring the arms out to a T. Once again, you can flip the palms up. You can flip the palms down. Great. Bring your right arm in front of you. Bend the elbows so the right fingertips are up. And then set the left elbow to the crook of the right elbow, so it's a figure four. Stay here, friends, or come into some version of an eagle arm. So back of the palms, or back of the hands can touch, or palm to palm. Okay, so with this one, we've just internally rotated the shoulders. And a lot of times we want to keep the elbows as high as the shoulders. You can do that or not. I just want you to find a spot where you can hold this pose. Drop the shoulders down and away from the ears. So I like to do that by placing the thumb closest to my face on the third eye. I don't get too worked up right now with this one about keeping the elbows at shoulder height. Okay, so we internally rotated the shoulders, and that could jut the chin forward a little bit. Okay, so I want you to try to straighten the back of the neck best as can be. Don't really give yourself a multiple chin, but just some nice softness in the neck. And we're staying here for just 2 more breaths. And then as your next exhale happens, drop the jaw inside out. Cool. All right, from here. No, I'm not going to do that with this one. I changed my mind. Slowly release. Bring your left hand behind behind you, the low back, and the right hand's gonna come to the back, middle of the back. So now you're in cow face arms or some version of it. So now you just externally rotated the shoulders. So depending on if you have short tissue in the back, that might have just jutted you forward a little bit. So try to soften and come back. And if you can't touch your fingertips together, that's totally fine. Try to have your right palm touching your back and the back of the left hand touching the back, okay? Come up nice and tall. Try to have your left elbow point down and your right elbow point up. And then be careful that you're not leaning too far forward or back. Nice and tall. Okay. Slowly give yourself a little side bend to your right. See how far you can take it. And then pause. It won't be like dramatic. Okay, try to keep the chin back a little bit. Great. Inhale, bring yourself up. Exhale, bring the arms down. Give yourself some shoulder shrugs. And as you're doing this, try to keep this from moving forward and back, okay? All right, here we go. I want you to switch the cross of your feet. So what was in front is in the back, and what's in the back is now in the front. Toss around a little bit so you have your stable foundation. Shoulders are in line with the hips. Ears are in line with the shoulders. Bring the arms out to a T. Bring your left arm in front of you. Bend the elbow, left fingertips up. Right elbow comes into the crook of the left hand. Great. You may not have the same variation of eagle from left to right. So if you need to go back of the hand, or palm to palm, find what feels good for you. All right, so you just internally rotated your shoulders that might have jutted the chin forward a little bit. So see if you can bring the ears in line with the shoulders best as can be. Nose comes up a little bit, and then rest the closest thumb onto your face. Maybe move the jaw a little bit. And your job is to breathe, keeping the shoulders drawing down and away from the ears, trying to keep the ears in line with the shoulders. Maybe moving the jaw. Two more breaths. And then as your exhale happens, slowly release, friends. This time, bring your right hand towards the low back. The left hand comes to the upper back. And you find a spot that feels good to you. So you just externally rotated your shoulders. Be careful you didn't jut forward again. So keep the shoulders in line with the ears, coming up nice and tall. If you want, you can move the lower jaw out like you got an underbite. Move it in. Great. All right, and then you'll slowly start giving yourself just a little bend over to the left. And slowly bring yourself back up and release. Release the arms down. Give yourself some shoulder shrugs. Cool. And then bring the legs straight in front of you. Heels down, toes up. Sit up nice and tall. Bring the arms up high to the sky. You're going to start folding forward in a seated forward fold, but don't lead with your chin. Try to keep the sit bones rooted down. Start leaning forward, straight spine. And then maybe let your nose guide you. Gaze can guide you. Hands pause wherever, grabbing a hold of something on your body. It rests somewhere. So when your hands are rested somewhere, slide the shoulders down and away from the ears. And then keep the jaw loose, but then try to take your gaze closer to your body. And then maybe your nose. And you'll probably notice you don't need to take the chin with you. It just goes. Great. Rooting down through your sit bones, slowly draw yourself back up. Uncurling the way you came. Don't lead with the chin. You can bring your arms up high to the sky and down to the side. Okay. So place your left foot to the outside of your right knee. You can hug your right knee in. You can stay here, or you can bend the right knee and bring the right heel to the left glute. And then set your left hand to the small of your back, sitting up nice and tall. That's wrong. Right hand. We're doing all these fun twists. I always forget things are going to cross the midline. Bring your left hand high to the sky. Okay, bring the ears in line with the shoulders. And then slowly bring your left elbow to the outside of your left foot, your left knee. And then look over your left thumb. Okay. Using your nose, try to look over your left shoulder. Gentle as can be. Slowly release. And bring both legs long. I got my midlines mixed up. So this is just a variation of it. But we got the point. Okay, so this time, bring your right foot to the outside of your left knee. Hug the left knee into the chest. And then bend your left knee. Bring left heel to right glute. And then bring your left hand behind you. Right arm reaches high to the sky. Try to keep the shoulders in line with the hips, ears in line with the shoulders, and then chin back a little bit. And then you're slowly going to twist over and hook your right elbow to the outside of your right knee. Look at your right fingertips here. Drop the shoulders down and away from the ears, and then slowly and carefully take your gaze over to your right shoulder. Maybe move your jaw around a little bit. And then slowly release. Great. This time, place both feet flat onto the mat. Hug the knees into the chest. All right, draw a line with the nose down to the knees. Drop the shoulders down and away from the ears. And then see if you can guide the chin to the chest. It's probably already there, best as can be. All right, slowly start lowering down one vertebra at a time. And then when you get there, interlace your hands and place them behind your head. So the thumbs are touching the back of the skull. And with your fingers, maybe start at the back of the ears and give yourself some small circles and work your way towards the center of your skull. So if we clench a lot in our jaw, we may tense a little more back here. Great. Give yourself just one more pass. And then feel the back of your skull, the subocciput totally touch the ground. Bring the arms down to the side, palms up. And then the nose is looking up towards the ceiling. And your palms are up. So that's going to help externally rotate the shoulders or open up the shoulders. Use your nose to draw a line to look over your left shoulder. Try to see how far you can take the line straight without like looking up or taking it towards your shoulder. And then use your inhale to guide your nose back up towards the ceiling and taking it over towards your right shoulder. Try to see if you can keep the line straight as can be. Cool. And then bring the nose back towards center. Awesome. All right, let's hug your right knee into your chest. Wrap your hands around your right shin, push out through your right foot, extend your left leg long. Hug your right knee into your chest. Keep the jaw easy. All right, use your nose. Bring the nose to knee, best as can be. So don't force it. I think sometimes we try to force it by jutting the chin forward and clenching the jaw. So just like keep it easy, nose to knee. If you notice you're tensing, come back. One more breath. Exhale, slowly release. Bring your right arm down to the side or out to a T, and then use your left hand to bring your right knee across body. Little supine twist here. And then once you feel settled, it's your choice. Do you want to use your nose to look over your right shoulder or not? And then with this next inhale, see if you can fill your entire torso. Exhale, sigh it out. And then bring yourself back into center. Hug your right knee into your chest. Have your left knee join you. Yay. And then extend your right leg long and squeeze your left knee into center. Push out through the right heel, right toes are up. Okay, same thing here. I want you to bring your knee to left nose, but try not to tense anything as you come up. Try it to let it be easy as can be. If you get here and you want to just move the jaw around a bit, you can. One more breath. And then exhale, slowly lower down. Left arm comes down to the side. Use your right arm to bring your left knee across body. And then it's yogi's choice. You want to look over the left shoulder or not. And then come back into center, hugging the left knee into the chest. This time, hug the right knee in as well. Maybe rock from side to side. Or make yourself some pelvic circles. And then find some stillness. Hugging the knees in. Bring the nose to both knees, best as can be. And then as you exhale, slowly release. Move the head from side to side. And then take the legs up high to the sky for your inversion. So bring the arms down. Maybe move the head from side to side. Move the jaw around. And find your inversion. right, take a nice full inhale. Knees into chest as you exhale. Let your next inhale bring yourself long, full body stretch. Exhale, release, bring the arms down to the side, move the head from left to right, maybe move your jaw around for your final pose of Shavasana. Knowing I am minding the time for you and I will call you back. Take your full inhale. Your slow exhale. Maybe give yourself a full body stretch, but slowly make your way onto your right side. Even here, see if you need to shift a little bit so you're not jutting too far forward. And then use your left palm to bring yourself up to a seated pose. And then once you're here, coming up nice and tall, bringing the shoulders back, ears are in line with the shoulders, sitting up nice and tall. Take a full inhale in, sigh it out. Reach your arms up high to the sky. Bring the palms together in prayer. And then as you exhale, bring them to heart center, but pause at your third eye as a reminder to have loving thoughts. And then pause at your lips as a reminder to have loving words. And then pause at your heart. Draw a line with your nose to look at your palms as a reminder to have loving kindness towards yourself and towards others. The light and love in me acknowledges and honors the light and love in you. Namaste.